Hello and welcome to another session of Mastermind Book Club. In this session, our hosts, Reggie, Hilliard, Charles Culmer, and myself, CEO David Diaz, are reviewing an important book, a book that I'd say is unbelievable. Isn't that right, fellas?
Yes.
What's the name of this book? How to Force Yourself to
Take action.
take action. How to Force Yourself to Take Action. Its author is Through the Audiobook Zone. I'd like to call on Reggie Hilliard so he can give his summary on this book. Reggie Hilliard.
Hello, everyone. Reggie Hilliard at the Mastermind Book Club. The first thing I'm going to touch on, what I'm going to bring to attention is when I started listening to this book, one of the first things I thought about was a quote by who was a poet, a writer, philosopher, lecturer in the 19th century. His name is Ralph Waldo Emerson. And he said something to the effect of like, do the thing and you will have the power. And the idea of that is that it emphasizes the idea of taking action, even if it's challenging or seemingly small. It's essential for achieving results and gaining the confidence to make things happen. Because ultimately what it's saying is that the power comes from within you, not from something else, not from outside. So a lot of times we're sitting there and we're waiting for, some energy to come to us, or some person to come to us, or something to happen. And really what it is that you're the activator of that thing, of being able to get yourself going. It's up to you, right? So once you get that, and once you then really get that, you can summon that and you can actually live it. Because it's not just the knowledge of a thing. Knowledge is just a bucket of information that just sits idle. When you actually know a thing is when you actually implement it into your life. You're living it and being it. So understanding that you are the impetus, you are the driver, you are the catalyst, you're all of those things will help you to understand that it's you. It's up to you to be the one to actually make things happen. It's not going to be for say whether someone comes to you, they give you some ideas, whether someone gives you some hope or whatever, some types of things like that. It's really going to come down to you ultimately taking some form of action, which activates you. And once you get activated, you can then see other things happen. And it's like, it's going to be the driver that makes things move, makes things change, makes things shift. And you'll see that like from that very much from you taking action is where it all is going to begin. So that's what I'll start with.
Charles Culmer. Thank you, Reggie Hilliard. Charles Culmer.
Hello, everyone. Charles Culmer with the Mastermind Book Club. And I'm going to start with get out of your head. Most of us, we take time to think and plan, and it's all in our head. We never take action. So my thing is get out of your head and take action. Don't put off you just thinking about a thing, contemplating a thing. I'm going to do it today. I'm going to do it tomorrow. No, do it now. Don't put off tomorrow for what you can do today. A lot of people, when it comes to taking action, they procrastinate because of unknowns. The best way to achieve anything is just to get in and to jump into it. If you want to write a book, you start off with just a couple pages. If you want to lose weight, you start off by maybe just reducing what you eat or meal planning and sticking to it, taking the action. Taking the action is the necessary thing in life to achieve your goals. And I'm going to stop there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both, Reggie Hilliard and Charles Culmer. Awesome intro into this book, How to Force Yourself to Take Action. Be aware of where you are, where you were, and where you want to be. Be aware. You have to strategize on your thoughts because our thoughts are constantly changing. So you can have a great idea, but within 10, 20 seconds, you could forget about it. So you got to be prepared to write it down if it's important. Every idea that comes to mind can force us to take action, but sometimes we just overlook it. We're not necessarily training to lead instead of following. What do I mean by that? Are we leading in the sense that every day we have a group of people that we're letting them know how they should get things done, not just telling them to do it, but giving them ideas on how to make it better? Some of us don't do that type of action. So being a training to be a leader is awesome. But lastly, become someone who thinks that it will matter, and that's why you're doing it. Become someone who thinks that it's going to improve someone's life or your own, and that should be sufficient why you should do it. Now, I want to ask our mastermind some questions here. Very, very simple. Have you been doing what matters in your life?
Yes.
Yes.
So for me, I've simplified it because I realize a lot of things don't matter. Right. And so for me, it's really come down to, and it's a book that I've read dozens of times this year, just stapling it in my head, cementing that. It's called The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. I read the pocket version of it. And one of the laws is the law of least effort. Um, so ultimately, you see what nature is doing is very effortless. So nature matters. What you see outside matters. What's happening around you matters in the sense where, those things that are being done because they're meant to be done. And they're it's an example that we can look at. And a lot of us turn to things that have no value, or just like we've been taught to follow a certain way, and that way is leading us the wrong way. So for me, when you ask if I do what matters, yes, because I've simplified it to looking at and embodying all of what nature's doing so that I can follow that as a path, the design that we've been given on this planet to follow so that our lives are going to be able to be done with much more ease. In fact, it's not even something you really have to do because you're just living and being is more of an embodiment, and it just becomes a thing that's like automatic. And then when you're living by design, you're going to be automatically doing what matters.
Thank you. Thank you, Reggie Hilliard. How about you, Charles Culmer? Are you doing what matters?
I'm going to piggyback off of what Reg just said. When you're in your divine will, of the creator of God, you will do what matters. Doing what matters is really just taking action. And if you see you're doing something or you're taking action, then that's that you're doing what matters.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I just want to say this, that in the last 9 months, I focused on assisting either my kids or my wife on getting ahead with their business goals, work, education. And I had to put off certain things in my life, like writing books, in order to get this to go on. But then once everything was completed in May, I had a hard time getting back on track until I got to this book, forcing myself to take action. Now, the name didn't get to me. The name didn't get to me. It was just the specific words in this book that really hit upon me that I'm capable of so much more, and that I should be doing what matters all the time. Maybe at the point, what mattered was just assisting my family in getting ahead. But now I've got to assist myself so that my family will have a legacy in reference to what I write. And so will many millions of other people who either listen to the audio part of the books that I write, or some of the works that I've done in reference to investing. So this book has hit home because it's brought me back to editing my book, which I have to edit several books, so one at a time, and we'll get there. So thank you for understanding that doing what matters can be taken as whatever it is that you want, but when it's for you or helping others, they're both right. They're both right. Gentlemen, I want to ask you is in reference to the details of whatever it is that you're doing right now, do you feel you're accomplishing any of the details? And why?
In reference to some of my health goals, yes, I am doing what I need to do because I'm seeing the results. I'm very thankful that they say a tree by the fruit it bears. So I thank you that I'm bearing good fruit.
Very good. Thank you. Reggie?
I mean, right now, one of my big projects is my audio book launch, and it's really taking myself out of the way and just understanding what maybe people would what benefit others. And so looking to capture that in the language that I'm delivering, the video that I've used, which is actually a video that was created by a company that I'm using to launch my book. But using those things, the tools that I have, the language, and really appropriating it to a certain way that makes it such that it like captures um, attention, and it grabs people in a way that it's going to feed them, and they're going to want to for example, get my book. But this is all something that you keep at it, because with anything or a lot of things, it's not the one time you do it, it's the repetition. And when you're selling something, which I'm not selling, I'm really just giving the people a way of life. So I'm not selling anything, but let's just say selling. There's a certain number of times, if you understand marketing, where it's like maybe 7 times that you have to put something in someone's face before they may even like consider it. So, it may seem redundant, but it's not redundant, because even if you think about it, you have companies like McDonald's that's still advertisers, right? And they've been around dozens of years, right? And they still spend billions of dollars a year. So for me, it's just tapping into what I understand people need, because also I feel it around me and I see where people are to the degree that there's a level of struggle and such. And I'm just saying, like, I'm giving them as an option, for me, my book that I know has a lot of value, that if they actually would embody it and don't just like dismiss it and really like take it in, they could see major change or major transformation in their lives. And I know that for a fact because it's my life.
Very good. Very good. This book, in reference to what Reggie and Charles said, yes, it is about our lives. It is about helping others. It is about whatever it is you want it to be. And the reality is sometimes we don't look at the details the way we should be. Number one is, are we doing the right steps to get to whatever goal we have? Are we doing the accountability part of it on a daily basis? Did we do X? Did we do Y? Did we do Z? This looking at the details also helps us in avoiding to repeat failure on the same level. It really does help us. Having that accountability of the details, self-accountability on the details, helps us to avoid repeating failure. Now, gentlemen, I want to ask you one last question. What is the biggest takeaway you had from this book? And that's where we're going to end it. What is the biggest takeaway that you had from this book?
Take action. Take action. Get out of your head. Don't listen to what other people say, because you have a lot of people who won't be with you or say they're with you, and maybe encourage you not to take action. But if you take action towards your goals, you're a step closer to achieving what you're looking to do.
Thank you, Charles Culmer. Thank you. Take action.
For me, it's just the understanding that it's all on you, and you have everything within you to make it happen. And so once you get that, it's up to you to then take the steps and take the measures to actually utilize what's endowed within you to make it all happen. And realizing also that as you go along the way, it's not just about, like this pace that you have to do, or it's not about like you have to get it done right now, all of it, but just the fact of just even little steps and being graceful and being gentle on yourself, right? Because it's all about how you approach a thing. A lot of times we have so much going on in our heads, and look at this thing as it's like so big, it's unapproachable, it's undoable or whatever, and it's not. But if you just do it like little steps and give yourself a little grace and give yourself some honor to the fact that you've actually picked yourself up and done it, and then you just keep going. And you can take breaks, but what I say with taking break, don't overdo it with breaks. Because like if you're in a car, you don't keep pressing on the brakes, you'll never get anywhere. You use the brakes when necessary. Just don't do too much with braking, because sometimes people brake so much it looks like they're not moving. It's almost like a permanent brake. So give yourself the necessary room to do what you need to do, and give yourself honor and love. Care about what you're doing, care about how you show up in the world every day, but realize ultimately it's on you and it's up to you to get it going. There's nobody to wait for, and God, everyone has given you, endowed you with this. So stop turning to God, because God is within you. Just activate the God within you, and you can do anything.
Very good, Reggie. Reggie, I'm gonna I'm gonna try and be as brief as possible. Number one, what Reggie said is similar to what I was gonna say. The thing is, everything in life is valid. If you need to work hard, you can work hard. If you need to eat junk food, you can have junk food. If you want to exercise, if you want to go to the gym and do weights, you can. Everything is valid. If you want to sleep over, extra, everything is valid. But when you do it beyond the normal amount, then it becomes a problem. That's one of the things I learned from this book. The other thing is, it got me back on track to where I want to be, is working on my books. Got me back on track. And number three, it helped me to realize that a journal is within my reach, having a daily journal, and all I need to ask myself is empowering questions. For example, as this book says, what moved you forward? That's question one. Number two, what held you back? Number three, what did I do today? Number four, what did I promise myself today? And five, what did I avoid? These empowering questions, there are many others, and it's a way to tackle down a journal in a more positive way. Because when I was doing a journal, I was doing the monotonous stuff, and it's not supposed to be monotonous. It's supposed to have some type of recollection of whatever you've gone through, and that's what I like. And I want to thank Charles and Reggie for giving their views on this book. And I'm pretty certain that this book, we as a team, as a Mastermind book club, we highly recommend it. Very short and sweet, but very, very powerful, filled with words that will improve whatever your situation, circumstances right now, so that you can take some action as well. This is the Mastermind Book Club signing off. Until next week, where we'll review another empowering book. Until then, take care.